Hello guys, this is the day 3 of our Sydney trip and today we are heading to Watson Bay. We started early in the morning because we planned to spend the whole day there. The weather was a bit cloudy and looked like it might rain again, but honestly that wasn't going to stop us. So we took a train to Circular Quay and from there we hop on a ferry to Watson Bay. The ferry ride itself was already worth it. On the way we got to see Sydney Opera House, Sydney Harbour Beach and pass by places like Rose Bay. The views were just unreal. Water, city and coastal line all together. When we arrived at Watson Bay, we realized this place is actually huge. So every lookout can give you a completely different view. So I would definitely recommend coming early and spending a full day here because 1 or 2 hours is honestly not enough. We started our walk from the lookout side near the gap and made our way along the coastal path. On the way we passed the wreck of the Dunbar, which has an interesting history from the 1800s. When a ship crashed here, it adds a bit of story to the whole place. The walking path was narrow with the bushes on the both sides, and even though there are houses nearby, it actually feels like you are walking through a nature or a small forest. As we kept walking, the views kept getting better. Along the path, we saw amazing deep blue ocean, rocky cliffs, and natural formation. It felt more wild and raw. There were also a lot of tourists, but the place still felt calm and peaceful. At one point, we even found a viewing telescope where you can look far into the ocean and coastline. It was really fun to stop and just take everything in. And there was also an information board about the whale migration. From around May to November, you can spot humpback whales passing through this coastline. We decided to explore the area from right to left, starting towards Macquarie Lighthouse. It took us around 30 minutes walk, but the view along the way made it totally worth it. After a long walk, we finally reached Macquarie Lighthouse, which is actually the oldest lighthouse in Australia. It stands on top of a hill surrounded by green land, and the white structure looks so clean and bright against the sky. After exploring Macquarie Lighthouse, we headed back and planned to continue towards Hornby Lighthouse through the coastal path. But because it was too windy and the ground was wet, we didn't want to take the risk. So instead of going from the top cliffside route, we decided to take the lower path, which felt much safer. And we passed through quite a street with small beautiful houses, and it honestly felt like we were in a movie. After walking for a while, we reached Camp Cove Beach. This beach has a completely different vibe on a sunny day. It's usually full of people swimming and relaxing, almost like a Goa style beach vibe. But since it was raining, it was much quieter. There's also a small house near the beach which has a popular spot for the photo shoot. From there we continue walking towards Lady Bay Beach. Along the way we saw historic cannons which shows the military history. From this side the view changes. You start seeing more of the city skyline and ship compared to the open ocean view from earlier. Right after that we reached Lady Bay Beach. This beach is actually quite unique. It's known as a clothing optional beach, so people can swim there freely. It's a small and quiet spot compared to the other beaches, but it's still very beautiful. After that we continue walking and finally reach the Hornby Lighthouse area. Before reaching the lighthouse, you will notice a small keeper cottage. This is where the lighthouse keeper used to live and maintain the lighthouse back in the day. From here you can also see a small island directly in front. That's a part of Sydney Harbour entrance area, and it looks really beautiful with the ocean surrounding it. Then we reach Hornby Lighthouse. This lighthouse is famous for its red and white stripe and was built in 1858 to guide ship safety into Sydney Harbour after a major shipwreck in the past. And we even spotted a group of dolphins swimming near the shore, but it happened so quickly that we couldn't capture it. The view from here is honestly mesmerizing, one of the best spots in Sydney. And then we saw a rainbow in the sky, which made the moment feel even more special. The water looked so unreal, light blue, shiny, almost like it had a color added to it. After exploring everything, it was already evening and the weather started clearing a little. We could finally see more of the city views clearly, and people started coming back to the beach. Kids were playing, dogs running around, and some people were even swimming. Then we headed towards the ferry side at Watson Bay Reef, but suddenly it started raining again, so we just found a seat and waited for the ferry along with other people. Our plan was actually to stay until evening so we could see the night view of the city, but because of the rain we didn't want to risk getting delayed, so we decided to take the ferry while it was still bright. Once we got on the ferry, we went upstairs to enjoy the view, and honestly, even the weather, the ride of the Watson Bay back to Circular Quay was still beautiful. We could see the harbour, the coastline, and everything we experienced throughout the day just for a different perspective. Now, one thing I would definitely say is this ferry looks completely different in daytime and nighttime. In the daytime you can see everything clearly, the blue water, coastline, buildings, and all the details, but at night it turns into a completely different vibe. City lights, reflection on the water, and everything glowing in the dark. So if you are visiting Sydney, I would recommend doing both if you can. One in the morning for the views and one at the night for the lights. I have also added some clip from the last trip you can see on the screen where I took the ferry at the night, so you can see how different and beautiful it looks. Even though the weather wasn't perfect today, we still enjoy every moment of this ride. It was one of those moments where you just want to pause and take everything in. If you are coming to Sydney, don't forget this place. Bye bye, see you in next video.